Welcome to the Homeownership podcast presented by Movementum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning property. Now here is your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 204, Home Upgrades that Add Value. I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week I want to talk to you homeowners about the idea of upgrading your homes. Now, upgrading your homes is a great idea oftentimes, but we need to think about how long we're going to be there, what we're going to do to it, and what the expectations are of other people. Believe it or not, painting is one of the easiest ways to upgrade your home and to really change it and to add some serious value. But remember, when painting, it's not painting for you if you're going to be for sale soon. A freshly painted house shows so well compared to a house with chipping and peeling paint, but another thing that happens is any chipping and peeling paint can lead to the inability to get an FHA or a VA loan, which could really limit your buyer pool. And we know when we limit our buyer pool, we limit the amount of money we're able to charge for the home. Painting is something that's so easy. It just takes getting a brush, getting a can of paint, getting some sandpaper, maybe standing on a ladder and swinging the brush around and getting the job done. You don't need to be the next Michelangelo to be a painter. You just need to do a good job, and you just need to go to the paint counter, ask them for samples of some of the most popular colors, and go neutral with it. Make sure to think, how am I going to have the most amount of buyers interested in this property? If you're going to be there for a while, then paint it the way you want. If you're going to stay for a while, just keep painting it though. Why am I saying paint it all the time? Well, keeping the outside of a house painted or keeping the inside surfaces of the house painted protects the wood underneath. It protects it from the elements. And that way there, when we go to sell the house, we may not have the color that we wanted, but we paint it again. It's a nice, easy project versus replacing rotten wood and different things like that. So paint saves the property, protects the property, has some great value on the return and turnaround sale of it. So one of the things you want to think about is before doing renovations to your house, no matter when it is, you want to reach out to your real estate agent or realtor. You want to say to them, hey, can you come out here and take a look at what I'm thinking of doing? That way there, they can tell you whether the upgrades you're doing make sense for your plan. If you tell them, hey, I'm going to live here for 30 years, I'm thinking about putting in a new bathroom, what would you do with it? Well, then I'd build it for myself and think, what do I want over the next 30 years? But if you called and said, I'm thinking about doing the bathrooms and I also want to sell in 5 years, and you ask me what to do, I would want to talk about what's most pop culture right then. What are we going to get that's going to get us the most bang for the buck? What are the upgrades that are expected with that type of house? What price point is the house? Lots of different little factors to look at, but really it's about how do I make sure that if you put this money in, you get money back or you at least break even, right? We don't want to take a loss on something we added to a house that wasn't absolutely necessary that we did in the idea of turning a profit or making the house more saleable. Very important to talk with your real estate agent ahead of time. Over at Movementum Realty, we've always kind of seen it this way. That's why we have this podcast called Homeownership. We believe that we're part of the process of buying, selling, and owning the home, because when we're part of that owning the home side of things, it helps us teach you how to be a good homeowner and how to have a successful exit in the future, because most everyone at some point is going to sell the house they're in and move to another one, which means that living there consciously and making decisions that are best practices is almost like being a savvy investor, right? As a stock investor, being a savvy investor sometimes means moving your money, right? As a homeowner, what does it mean? It means doing things, it means taking care of the place, it means reinvesting into different upgrades and updates to ensure that your nest egg or your life savings or however you see it is safe. But also keeping in mind that there are a million different ways to upgrade a home and there are lots of different costs involved, and not all of them are going to get you that return on investment. Say putting in a pool or say putting in a new driveway or all these different things, we'd want to look at the situation and see, will that actually add value? And oftentimes the answer is going to be no. It's going to be, yes, they're enjoyable. Yes, you get to enjoy what goes on with them, but a 5-year-old pool or a 10-year-old pool or a 20-year-old pool, they need work, they need upgrades, they need maintenance. So you've actually added something that's costly to the house. But depending on the house and structure, some houses, there's an assumption that there should be a pool there. Or a high-end house, big yard, we definitely should have a pool there. We'd want to look at it, and that's why I say it's so important to have the agent out to look at the upgrades you're thinking about doing. One of the ones that's pretty common sense is replacing depleted floors, right? So if we have depleted floor coverings, whether they're really, really dirty rugs or maybe broken pieces of wood or all different things like that, that's another one that can limit us on the home loan. So replacing depleted floor coverings is a big one. We want to also look at that though. Do we go down to the big box store and throw in rugs? Or do we go and put in hardwoods? Do we put in maple? Or do we put in cherry? Do we put in oak? Do we put in black? Do we put in white? Do we put in gray? Do we put in beige? These are things that, again, your real estate agent can come over and really advise you on what is going to be popular, what is currently popular, what is trending out, and what is going to give you that return on investment. One of the things we always teach, right, is so say you walk into a neighborhood and all the houses are pretty much the same, right? If someone goes in and then suddenly puts glass showers and granite countertops and stainless appliances, is that going to drastically change the value of that one home? And it's really, the answer is not as drastically as the owner would hope. They're putting upgrades that aren't assumed in that neighborhood into that neighborhood, which sometimes you can lead the way and make money. But most of the time, when you're looking at like flipping or putting money in to get money out, what you really usually want to think to yourself is, what would the normal consumer expect in this exact property? Would it be granite countertops or would it be faux granite countertops? Would it be marble floors or would it be tile floors? Would it be hardwoods or would it be rugs? Would it be glass showers or would it be plastic 3-piece tubs? We want to think about that and beat them by just one little tiny step up. If it's normally plastic tubs, maybe we do a tile backsplash, but we don't do the glass. If it's normally tile backsplashes, maybe we do the glass doors on the backsplash. That's what we're going to do to make the house just a little more desirable. But if we go full tiled shower with glass and they're expecting a place to bathe their children because it's a 3-bedroom home and you got rid of the only bathtub in the house, that could be an issue. Or maybe the person likes to just take nightly tubs and they wanted a tub for themselves. So removing the only tub may be an issue. Again, all these little nuances is why it's so important to reach out to someone over here at Momentum Realty so they can mentor you and guide you on finding success and doing the right upgrades to sell your house for the maximum return on investment. Thank you so much for listening this week. Make sure to pound the subscribe button. If you haven't already done so, make sure to tell your friends and family about this. This is a great way for them to learn more about owning their home so that when they go to sell the home in the future, they get the most money possible. Thanks again and have a great week.